Hey YouTube, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be going over another practice question to help you pass the exam. This is RayTube number 8. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's dive right into it. A social worker is meeting with a woman due to stress regarding her adult daughter's addiction to substances. The client reports that her daughter has been in and out of different rehabs due to her continued use. The client reports that her daughter has been living with her since her daughter does not have a job and was recently kicked out of the last facility for using substances. The woman wants to help her daughter and manage her own stress as she finds the situation very challenging. How should the social worker intervene? A. Educate the mother on enabling behavior. B. Tell the mother to ask her daughter to attend the next session. C. Assist the client in finding another rehab for her daughter to manage her addiction. Or D. Support the mother by encouraging her to stay strong, as it can be challenging when a family member is battling addiction. So just like the previous videos, pause, reread the question, reread through the answers, select your best answer choice, unpause the video, and then we'll dive into the explanation. Okay. If you picked A, you are correct. Why? Let's jump into it. So A is correct. Educate the mother on enabling behavior. This answer choice is correct. Why? When people see a family member struggling with an addiction, they often try to intervene in a helpful way and to keep the person alive. However, the family member or members can end up enabling the person's behavior. The family members need to set and maintain healthy boundaries so that they do not continue to enable the substance abuse problem/behavior. By the mother allowing her daughter to live with her while she is non-compliant with treatment, in the quote from the question, the client reports that her daughter has been in and out of different rehabs due to her continued use. The client reports that her daughter has been living with her since her daughter does not have a job and was recently kicked out of the last facility for using substances. So when this is going on, and we may have experience in our own personal life or have worked with clients where this has been going on, there's a thin line between helping the loved one versus enabling, such as giving money and just doing things where we're taking more responsibility than the client is or the loved one for their own well-being. And when we start to get into that realm, it's not productive and not helpful for anybody. And when we look at B, tell the mother to ask her daughter to attend the next session, that's incorrect. Why? The client is the mother. The mother needs to learn how to set healthy boundaries and not take responsibility for her daughter's care. And then C is also incorrect. Why? Assist the client in finding another rehab for her daughter to manage her addiction. This is putting responsibility on the mother for her daughter's treatment. The person has to want it for themselves. It's the daughter's responsibility to address her addiction issues. So again, relating back to the explanation for A, the moment the family member, the loved one, starts to take on that responsibility for the care of another, that's a difficult spot to be in, because we want the person that's going through these addictions, that's going through these challenges, we want them to want it for themselves. They have to be able to do that. There's a difference between, providing them with resources, but again, due to the context of the question where it's saying the daughter has a track record of non-compliance for treatment, right? We want to look at the details of the question. It says right here again, the client reports that her daughter has been in and out of different rehabs due to her continued use. The client reports that her daughter has been living with her since her daughter does not have a job and was recently kicked out of the last facility for using substances. So this isn't a situation where we're like, hey, a family member, a loved one is going through these addiction challenges and we're providing them resources, right? This is a situation where it's like, no, this is a track record of continued non-compliance. So according to the question, the details of the question, the daughter has had different treatment facilities, different rehabs. The daughter has had the resources and the tools, but just through the nature of addiction, how challenging it can be, you know, the daughter has continued to relapse and continue to use substances. And again, as the loved one, the family member, the mother in this particular scenario, she's kind of stepping into that enabling behavior because now she's taking on a responsibility of trying to find all these different rehabs, letting her stay with her. And again, it's just breeding an enabling behavior where the daughter isn't exactly in a hurry to change the problematic behavior as a result because of things that are being enabled. So when we look at C again, this is putting responsibility on the mother for her daughter's treatment. The person has to want it for themselves. It's the daughter's responsibility to address her addiction issues. And then D is also incorrect. Support the mother by encouraging her to stay strong, as it can be challenging when a family member is battling addiction. While support is good, the mother is demonstrating enabling behavior, which will most likely continue if not brought to her attention. We want to educate the mother about her actions regarding her daughter's addiction. So again, this isn't saying, oh, wait, we can't help, a family member, a loved one that's going through anything, right? We can't do anything. There's a way we want to go about it. And enabling behavior could be giving money, taking care of their day-to-day responsibilities for them, and taking on responsibility for their treatment, where we're taking it as now it's our responsibility. We have to find these rehab facilities now. We have to make sure that they have a place to stay. We have to do all these things. And again, while our heart may be in the right place, is creating that enabling behavior, that enabling pattern where we want the responsibility to be on the person, the loved one, going through these things. Again, there's a difference between being support, like an intervention, versus, hey, we're going to be doing these things for you. Despite any challenges you're going through, we're still going to continue to do all these things for you. That's not a good place for us to be in for anybody. And I also, at the bottom, I'm going to put a link in the description to enabling behavior so that we can read a bit more about it, so we get just a more firm understanding about enabling behavior. Because if we get a question like this on the exam, again, we want to be able to identify enabling behavior if we get a question like this where a loved one, the mother, father, a spouse, whoever, is engaging in enabling behavior. We want to be able to address it and kind of call it out for the loved one, the family members, so that it doesn't continue. Because if not, it's going to continue. And again, that doesn't help anybody out in this situation. Okay, guys, that was it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like I always say in these videos, you got this. You got this. We're going to keep, tapping in, looking at the videos, absorbing the information, practicing the practice questions so that we're more comfortable when we go in to take the exam, because we've been practicing the questions. I always say 2 practice questions a day helps keep the exam anxiety at bay. And we want to do that again to really get that preparation in so that we could go in there, ace the exam, and be done with it. And lastly, don't forget to share with a social worker friend, because again, we don't want to be licensed by ourselves. So thank you guys, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.